Hello everyone, welcome to Intelligence Kernel. I am Shimontini and today's topic is direct speech and indirect speech, which is a part of narration change. Now guys, in this channel I'll be telling you everything about English grammar and English in general. So if you are a student or you are a person who is searching for jobs, or you just want to write something on your own, create something on your own for any kind of artistic purpose, or it can be anything. If you want to improve your English skills, then this channel is the right channel for you. Here I'll be talking about the basics of English grammar, the advanced part of English grammar, and many more topics. I'll give the list of the topics in the description below. You can check it out if you want. So anything that you need to know about English, anything that will help you to strengthen your English knowledge, your English skills, you will find it all right here in this channel. Now guys, before we start today's topic, please subscribe to Intelligence Kernel and hit the notification bell beside the subscribe button so that each time I upload a new video here, you immediately get notified about it. Alright, now let's begin. So, direct and indirect speech. Now, to understand that, the thing that we first need to know is narration and narration change. What is narration? Narration is a way or act or process, written or spoken, by which a story is conveyed to an audience by a narrator. So, by the way a story or a message or anything that is conveyed by a person or anybody to somebody else, that way is called narration. Now, what is narration change? Narration is done with the help of direct speech or direct narration and / or indirect speech or indirect narration. So, the process of changing direct speech to indirect speech or indirect speech to direct speech is called narration change. So, we got the idea of narration, we got the idea of narration change. Now comes the next thing, that is direct speech and indirect speech. Direct speech. The speech that contains the exact words of the speaker is called a direct speech. Let me give you an example. Helena said, "There is a hole in my umbrella." Here you can say that Helena, this person, is saying something. What is she saying? She is saying that there is a hole in my umbrella. So, according to the definition, the speech that contains the exact words of the speaker. This is important. This is the direct speech. Here, the exact words of the speaker will be present. That is, in this example, there is a hole in my umbrella. So, this is the example of a direct speech. Now, indirect speech. The speech that does not contain the exact words of the speaker, instead it contains the substance of the speaker's actual words, is called an indirect speech. For example, Helena said that there was a hole in her umbrella. Now you can see that the thing that Helena was trying to say is there was a hole in her umbrella, but instead of using her exact words, which is done here in the direct speech, there is a hole in my umbrella, it was done here, the exact words were used here. Instead of that, here in the indirect speech we have used it like this. Helena said that there was a hole in her umbrella. We didn't use the exact words by Helena, instead we used the substance of it. Here, the substance of the speaker's actual words, we used that in the example. So, This is the example of an indirect speech, and the previous one was a direct speech. Now the next thing that we need to know is reported speech. What is a reported speech? In a direct speech, the exact words of the speaker are called reported speech. What's the next thing? Reported speech is put within inverted commas. The next point, the first word of a reported speech always begins with a capital letter. Now, I will give you an example so that you understand it easily. What's the first point? It said that in a direct speech, the exact words of the speaker, that is a reported speech. Here, the example is, Tony said, "Give me my pen." These are the exact words of the speaker, which is Tony. "Give me my pen." This is the reported speech. Now, what's the next point? Reported speech is put within inverted commas. We can see that here are the inverted commas. Now, what's said here? The first word of a reported speech always begins with a capital letter. We can see that the first word is give. Give is the first word. It has begun with a capital letter, that is G. So, this is all that you need to know about reported speech. Now, the next thing is reporting verb. What is a reporting verb? In a direct speech, the verb that introduces the reporting speech is called reporting verb. Next point, reporting verb and reported speech are always separated by a comma. Now, for example, Tony said, "Give me my pen." Now, as per the first point, what's said here? That in a direct speech, the verb that introduces the reporting speech. What's the verb here in the example? The verb is said. So, here said is the reporting verb. Now, what's said here is reporting verb and reported speech are always separated by a comma. What's the reporting speech? What's the reported speech in the sentence? The reported speech is, "Give me my pen," right? So, according to the second point, reporting verb, which is said, and reported speech, which is "Give me my pen," that those two are always separated by a comma, that is this one. So, we get the whole idea of a reporting verb. So, now we have to know is narration change, transformation of direct speech into indirect speech. Now guys, before we start this, let me tell you that narration change can mean transformation of direct speech into indirect speech and transformation of indirect speech into direct speech. So, here I will give you the example and the rules. Everything that I will tell you here will be according to the transformation of direct speech into indirect speech. That is how, if you know all the rules based on that, you will also understand how to change an indirect speech into a direct speech by following the exact rules in the backward way. Alright? So now, let me make you understand that how narration change is done. I will give you some examples by which you will get the basic idea of it. First one, direct speech. She said, "I want my toy back." Here you can see that this is a direct speech. Why is that? Because "I want my toy back," this is the exact words, these are the exact words of the speaker, which is she here. So, this is the direct speech. Now, we will change that into an indirect speech. How is it done? The indirect speech is, she said that she wanted her toy back. How it is done? We will put the exact words in the before the inverted comma, which are she said. See, we put the she said here just as it was in the direct speech. Now we will put a that. Instead of the comma, we will put a that here. This is how indirect speeches are written. This is how we convert a direct speech into an indirect speech. Now after that, after using that, we will write she. Why did we do that? Here it said, I want my toy back, right? So she is saying I. That's why the I here will be she. She wanted her toy back. Now, why here the verb wanted is used instead of want? I will tell you that in the next segment of the video. The reason why the verb of a reported speech is changed, there are many reasons, there are many rules. I will tell you that in the next segment. Again, my toy bag will be changed into her toy bag. My will be changed into her. Understand? Now for the next example, the direct speech is, I said I am very happy. Which will be the indirect speech? I said that I was very happy. Again guys, why the am is changed into was, I will tell you that in the next segment of the video. Otherwise, you understand the rest of it. I said, comma will be replaced by that. I am very happy will be I was very happy. Now for the next example, the direct speech is, they said we have won this match. Here the indirect speech will be, they said that they had won that match. Now again let me tell you that why the have won has changed into had won. I mean the verb of the reported speech, why it has changed into this one, I will tell you that in the next segment. Otherwise, they said will be they said. Again the comma will be replaced by that. Now we have won this match will be they had won that match. So many things are happening here. For now what you need to know is, we will be replaced by they. Why is that? Because the speaker here is they. That's why we changed into they. And this match got changed into that match. Now let me tell you guys why this has changed into that. There are a number of words that get changed from direct speech to indirect speech. What I mean is that if there are certain words that if they are used in a direct speech, in the indirect speech they will get changed. I will give you the list of the words in the next segment. So we understand the basic way of changing a direct speech into an indirect speech. What did we see? That the comma is always replaced by that, and one main thing that I didn't say is the inverted commas will also disappear in the indirect speech. We won't use any inverted comma here. Now what I said earlier, change of words while transforming from direct speech into indirect speech. What I said in the last example, that there are a number of words that if they are present in the direct speech, they will get changed in the indirect speech. Now we will see what are those words. Direct speech, indirect speech. Now these words such as here, this morning, today, tonight, yesterday, tomorrow, next week, next month. If these words are present in the direct speech, in the indirect speech they will be changed. Here will be there, this morning will be that morning, today will be that day, tonight will be that night, yesterday will be the day before or the previous day, tomorrow will be the next day, next week will be the following week, next month will be the following month. Now there are a set of more words that gets changed in the indirect speech. Again, now, ago, thus, last night, this, these, hither, hence, come. If these words are present in the direct speech, in the indirect speech they will get changed. Now will be then, ago will be before, thus will be so, last night will be the night before or the previous night, this will be that, these will be those, hither will be thither, hence will be thence, come will be go. So these are the set of words that if they are present in the direct speech, in the indirect speech they will get changed. Now comes the next segment. Rules for different tenses. Here all your questions regarding the verb of the reported speech will get cleared completely. First point. If the reporting verb is in present tense or future tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech does not change. We saw some examples earlier where the verbs got changed in the indirect speech from direct speech. We will see how that happens. So the first rule is, if the reporting verb is in present tense or future tense, the verb in the reported speech will not change its tense. For example, present tense, if the reporting verb is in present tense, direct speech, Rima says he has given me the files. In the indirect speech it will be, Rima says that he has given her the files. Now what happened here? Rima says will be Rima says as it is, comma will be replaced by that, the inverted commas will not be applied here. He has given me the files. What is said here? He has given her the files. We can see that because the reporting verb is in present tense, the verb in the reported speech, which is has given, is exactly how it is in the direct speech. Has given. This has did not change its tense. Right. Why is that happening? Because the reporting verb is in present tense. Now the rest of the sentence, me the files will be her the files, because Rima says that. Rima is a girl, that's why the me will be changed into her. Am I clear? Now the next example where the reporting verb is in future tense. Direct speech. Derek will say, I have enough food on my plate. The indirect speech is, Derek will say that he has enough food on his plate. Again, what is happening here? Derek will say will be exactly how it is. Derek will say. The comma will be replaced by that. Again, the inverted commas, we won't put that here in the indirect speech. I have enough food on my plate. Here you can see that we have used he has enough food on his plate. Because the speaker is Derek, I will be changed into he. Now have will be has. Why is that? Because because of the presence of he is in third person, that's why the have will be changed into has. And enough food on my plate will be enough food on his plate. Now we can see that because the reporting verb is in future tense, which is will, that's why the verb in the reported speech, that is have, did not change its tense. Have did not become had, it just became has. Alright, I hope you understand it. Now comes the next rule. If the reporting verb is in past tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech changes into past tense as well. For example, direct speech. She said, I have received a letter from my cousin today. The indirect speech will be, she said that she had received a letter from her cousin that day. Now, why is that happening? Let me tell you. She said will be she said, comma will be replaced by that. The inverted commas will not be used here. I will be she. Why is that? Because the speaker is she. Now have received got changed into had received. Why did that happen? Because the reporting verb is in past tense. The reporting verb is said. That's why the verb of the reported speech also got changed into past tense. That's why have received became had received. A letter from my cousin became a letter from her cousin. And as we said in the previous segment, there are some words that get changed into indirect speech from direct speech. The word here is today. We said that today changes into that day. So, she said, I have received a letter from my cousin today, get changed into she said that she had received a letter from her cousin that day. Now, another example, direct speech. He said, I am running to my house now. In direct speech, he said that he was running to his house then. Now again, what is happening here? He said is he said, comma is replaced by that. The inverted commas will not be used here. Am running will become was running because of the tense of the reporting verb, which is in past tense. So, I am running to my house now will be he was running to his house then, because in the direct speech it's now, so in the indirect speech it will be then, as we said in the previous segment of the video. Now, the next example. He said, I will meet him at 7 o'clock. In direct speech, he said that he would meet him at 7 o'clock. Again, he said is he said, comma will be replaced by that. The inverted commas will be disappeared. I will be he. Will meet will be would meet, because again the reporting verb is in past tense. Meet him at 7 o'clock. At 7 o'clock. So, the next example now is, she said, I will be working tomorrow. The indirect speech of that, she said that she would be working the next day. Again, she said will be she said, comma will be replaced by that. The inverted commas will not be used here. I will be she. Will be will become would be, because the past of will is would, and the reporting verb here is said, which is in past tense. Working will be working. Tomorrow will be the next day, because of the segment that we discussed earlier, that tomorrow changes into the next day in the indirect speech. Done. Now the next portion. We will see some other examples of the same rule. Direct speech. Henry said, by next week we shall have earned lots of money. Indirect speech. Henry said that by the following week they should have earned lots of money. Now guys, why am I giving you so many examples? I am doing this so that you can understand the change of each verb in the reported speech from direct speech to indirect speech. So what is happening here? Henry said will be Henry said, comma will be replaced by that. By next week will be by the following week, because next week changes into the following week from direct speech to indirect speech, as we said earlier. We will be they. Shall have will become should have, because the reporting verb is said. That's why the verb of the reported speech will change into the past tense as well, which is should have. Now the rest of the portion, earned lots of money, earned lots of money. Now he said, I will have been playing football by this time tomorrow. Indirect speech is, he said that he would have been playing football by that time the next day. He said will be he said, comma will be replaced by that. I will be he. Will have been will be would have been, because this is the past form of will. Would is the past form of will. Playing football by this time tomorrow will be playing football by that time the next day. Again, in the direct speech this is used, the word this, so in the indirect speech it will be that. Tomorrow will be the next day. Alright. Now the next example. Mother said, it may rain tonight. In direct speech, mother said that it might rain that night. Again, mother said will be mother said, comma will be replaced by that. It may rain tonight will be it might rain that night. May is changed into might, because might is the past form of may, and tonight will be changed into that night, because as we said in the earlier portion of the video that in the direct speech if tonight is used, then in the indirect speech it will be changed into that night. Now there is another rule which is a short portion of the previous rule, which is connected to the previous rule. If two actions occur at the same time in reported speech, the past continuous tense of the verb in the reported speech does not change. Let me give you an example of it. Direct speech. Nina said she was talking while he was taking notes. In the indirect speech it will be Nina said that she was talking while he was taking notes. Now, what is happening here? The first portion will be exactly how it is. Nina said will be Nina said. The comma will be replaced by that, and the inverted commas will not be used here in the indirect speech. Now, she was talking will be she was talking only. It will not be changed into anything else. Why is that? Because it's said in the point that if two actions occur at the same time in the reported speech. Here we can see that she was talking while he was taking notes. So these two actions were happening at the same time, and this is the reported speech. So if this is the case, then no matter what the reporting verb is, no matter what tense, in what tense the reporting verb is, the past continuous tense of the verb in the reported speech, is was talking, another verb is was taking, it will not be changed. It will be exactly how it is. See, she was talking while he was taking notes. The verb in the reported speech did not change at all, because in the reported speech these two actions are happening at the same time. Alright, now the next rule. If there is a universal truth or habitual fact in the reported speech, the tense of the verb in the reported speech never changes no matter what tense the reporting verb is in. For example, he says the sky is blue. Indirect speech, he says that the sky is blue. Now we can see that here the reporting verb is already in present tense. Alright, so he will be he. Now the sky is blue will be the sky is blue. Why? First of all, the reporting verb is in present tense. That's why the verb of the reported speech will not be changed. This is, we already know that. But there is another thing. The sky is blue. This is something that is a habitual fact. What does that mean? That it is a universal truth. Like everywhere it's true. The sky is always blue. It's not like it's green or purple. It's always blue. That's why in the indirect speech, the reported speech will not be changed. The verb of the reported speech will not be changed. The sky is blue will be the sky is blue, exactly how it is, no matter what the reporting verb is in which tense. Now the next example, the teacher will say the earth rotates round the sun. The indirect speech, the teacher will say that the earth rotates round the sun. See, here the teacher will be the here, will say will be will say, comma will be replaced by that, inverted commas will be not used. Now we can see that the earth rotates round the sun is exactly how it is in the indirect speech as well. Why is that? First of all, you already know that the reporting verb is in future tense, so the verb of the reported speech, which is rotates, will not be changed. It will be exactly how it is. But again, the earth rotates round the sun is a universal truth. It's always the truth. This is what always happens. So here the verb will not be changed. Now in these two examples we can see that the reporting verb is already in present tense and future tense. So you might say that the verb of the reported speech will not be changed no matter what. But now the example is, she said human beings are mortal. Here we can see that the reporting verb is in past tense. So what happens if a reporting verb is in past tense? We already knew that the verb of the reported speech changes into past tense as well, according to the previous rule. But here, what happened here is, in the indirect speech, we can see that she said that human beings are mortal. Here, the verb of the reported speech did not change into past tense. We use the verb are exactly how it is. See what happened here? She said, comma is that, replaced by that. Inverted commas are not present. Human beings are mortal is exactly how it is here. Human beings are mortal. Now you have to understand that why the verb of the reported speech did not change in the indirect speech. Because human beings are mortal, this is a universal truth. Every human being dies. Human beings are mortal. This is a habitual fact. That's why the verb of the reported speech does not change in the indirect speech, no matter in what tense the reporting verb is in. See, reporting verb is in the past tense here, but that doesn't change the fact that human beings are mortal is a universal truth. That's why we didn't change the verb here. Understand? Now, the next rule. If there is a past historical fact in the reported speech, the tense of the verb in the reported speech never changes no matter what tense the reporting verb is in. This is kind of similar to the previous rule. We can see that. For example, she says India became independent on 15th August 1947. The indirect speech is, she says that India became independent on 15th August 1947. We can see that first of all, says here is used, which is in present tense. So obviously the verb in the reported speech will not be changed. But there is another thing. We have to know that India became independent on 15th August 1947. This portion, this is a historical fact. That's why the verb here, which is became, will not be changed. This is why the verb is not getting changed, because the reported speech is a historical fact. Now, the next example, direct speech. He will say the World War II killed millions of innocent people. Indirect speech. He will say that the World War II killed millions of innocent people. We can see here as well, you can say that of course it's will in the reporting verb. The reporting verb is in future tense, so the verb of the reported speech, which is killed, will not be changed. But this is not why the verb is not changed. The verb is not changed here in the indirect speech because this sentence, this reported speech, the World War II killed millions of innocent people, this is a historical fact. That's why the verb here is not getting changed. This is the reason behind it. See, in the next example it will be useful. She said my brother was missing for 12 years. Indirect speech. She said that her brother was missing for 12 years. See, here the reporting verb is in the past tense. So this is the reason why we have to remember these two rules, this rule and the previous rule, because if the reporting verb is in past tense, then we have to be very careful that what is said in the reported speech. If it's a universal truth or a habitual fact or a historical event, then the verb of the reported speech will not be changed. This is very important to remember if the reporting verb is in past tense. Otherwise, if it is in present tense or future tense, then we already know that the verb of the reported speech will not get changed. But if it in past tense, the reporting verb, then we will have to be very careful what is written in the reported speech. What fact it is, if it's a historical fact or a habitual truth or a universal truth, then whatever, if it's these facts, these three things, then the verb of the reported speech will not be changed. See, this is what happened here. She said will be she said, comma will be that, inverted commas will disappear. But the fact that the reporting verb is in past tense will not matter at all, because my brother was missing for 12 years. This is a historical fact. That is why the verb was missing will not be changed. It will be exactly how it is. See, her brother was missing for 12 years. Was missing will not be changed. It will be was missing only in the indirect speech. Alright. Now comes the last rule, the last portion. If the verb of the reported speech is in past tense and the reporting verb is in past tense as well, then the verb of the reported speech will either remain in the same tense, which is the past tense, or will change into past perfect tense. I will give you an example. Direct speech. He said, I woke up late yesterday. See, here the reporting verb is in past tense and the verb of the reported speech is also in past tense, which is woke. Now, in the previous examples, we saw that when the reporting verb was past tense, the verb of the reported speech was always in present tense. When it was a habitual truth or a universal fact or a historical fact, then sometimes we saw that the verb of the reported speech was in past tense as well. But here the case is something different. Here the reporting verb is also in past tense and the verb of the reported speech is also in past tense. Then what happens? What happens is, see, in the indirect speech, he said that he woke up late the previous day. What is happening here? He said will be, he said, comma will be replaced by that. The inverted commas will be not used here. What is happening in the verb portion? See, I will be he. Now, woke up is woke up only. Why is that? Because in the point we said that if the verb of the reported speech is in past tense, which is woke here, and the reporting verb is in past tense as well, which is said, then what happens is either the verb of the reported speech will remain in the same tense, which is past tense, or it will change in past perfect tense. Here I will show you the first rule, which is the first possibility, which is the verb of the reported speech will remain in the same tense, past tense. See, woke up, the past tense of the verb is woke up as well. The main verb is wake, the past tense is woke. So, in the reported speech, the verb will remain in the same tense, that is the past tense, because the reporting verb is also in the past tense. Now, what is the other possibility? She said, I bought a new book. In direct speech, she said that she had bought a new book. Here I use the other possibility, which is the verb will change into past perfect tense. See, here the reporting verb is in past tense and the verb of the reported speech is also in past tense. The verb is bought. Now, what happens? The second possibility is changed into past perfect tense. The verb of the reported speech, which is bought, will be changed into past perfect tense. What is that? Had bought. Now let's see the whole example. She said will be she said, comma will be replaced by that. The inverted commas will not be used. I will be she, because the speaker is she. Bought will be, because bought is past tense, had bought. Bought will be changed into its past perfect tense. Now the rest of the portion, a new book, will be a new book. So that was all about the rules of different tenses in case of narration change. So guys, that was the first part of narration change. In the next part, I'll be telling you how to change direct speech to indirect speech in case of question sentences or interrogative sentences. Make sure to check all the parts so that by the end of it, you have a complete idea of narration change. So guys, if you like this video, hit the like button and share it with everyone you know that might need help with English grammar lessons like this. And also, if you face any kind of trouble or if you have any questions about this topic or while practicing on your own, then just ask your questions in the comment section below. I'll see through every single one of them. Also guys, I've posted another video in the channel, that is the order of words and clauses. I will give the link of the video in the description section. You can check this out from there. Lastly guys, subscribe to Intelligence Kernel and hit the bell shaped icon beside the subscribe button so that each time I post a new video here, you get notified about it every time right away. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.